My dear child, don't fall into the illusion of feeling helpless and you are not powerless and you are not a victim. When you play the victim role, it lowers your vibration. You are not able to see all of the opportunities around you to set yourself free. And if you are unhappy in a situation, the first thing is to see it for what it really is. Try not to sugarcoat it or sweep it in under a rug, and please don't settle, only dust settles. Be open and honest to the raw truth. Then take bold action in faith. You allow your faith to take the wheel and steer you away from obstacles before slaying them one by one courageously and graciously, and let the chips fall where they may. And if you want the best, the first step is treating yourself like the best. And remember, you draw to you who you are, and whether you like it or not. Ask the Holy Spirit, what am I to learn from my last lesson, and what new decisions can I make today to take powerful step towards my destiny. So remember, change begins with you, and you deserve the absolute best and all the beautiful things you have always prayed for. Believe it with every inch of your soul and continue to set yourself free and move forward to bigger and better. You got this, my child. I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. So, my child, know that there is no valid reason to settle down with somebody, and if you know you are not ready, you can't be selfish and only think about your needs. Think about the person you may end up hurting, and if you know deep down that you are not ready to commit, take your time to fully love yourself so you can give that some love back to someone that will cherish it. And until you learn to fully love yourself, you will never be able to give love back. So, my child, know that dream keeps following you because only you can fulfill its purpose. And calm your thoughts and remember who is in control of them. And when doubt leaves your mind feeling unsettled, just know that a breakthrough is on the verge of entering your life. Send your spirit soaring to the next level by continuing to lean into faith and eliminating all traces of fear from your heart. And with so much magic resting in your hands, and don't be surprised when your journey suddenly moves in the direction you have been praying for. Bigger and better blessings are coming. Believe it without having to see it, and the change is you. My child, know that. For everything God created is good. He created you. Therefore, you are good. You are not a mistake. a waste defective, or anything of that sort. God wants you to know today that you are still beautiful, you are still His masterpiece. He needs you to understand your value and your worth so that you know just how precious you are. And He needs you to know that not everyone deserves a seat at your table. He needs you to know that your presence is powerful and your anointing is strong. You change the atmosphere when you walk into a room. God knows exactly what He was doing when He created you. So, my child, know that if you have ever felt frustrated by an uncertain season that lasts longer than you anticipated, you are not alone. You can become so focused on your disappointments that you forget I'm still in control, and that is why it is important to remember that your waiting is never wasted. So, even though the Israelis could not see it at the time, I was not withholding my promises from them, and I was preparing them for that. So, if you find weary from waiting, do what the Israeli forget to do. Look for evidence of my presence and look back on what is I already done. My timeline may be different than yours, but my faithfulness does not waver. When you are waiting, I am preparing you my plans, my purpose, and for my promises that I have for you. Trust me, my child, know that. Abraham waited for children, Job waited for answer, Israel waited for a home over and over again. If you see, I made extraordinary promises to my people and made them wait years and years before they come true. Your waiting is not in vain. I already worked out everything, and I will never allow you to wait without having a reason. And if I have you the promise and dreams, I will be the one who will help that to come true, and everything will happen in its time. And when you have to do is trust me. So, my child, know that you possess all that you are. You can't find parts of yourself in someone else, and you can't find your other half in this world because you are complete all by yourself. And you will eventually discover that the other half of your heart has been with you always and from the beginning. You really don't need anybody else to fill the void created by you. So you just need to find your way back to yourself and give yourself the love you deserve. And there is only one person on earth who can ever truly make you feel whole, and that person is you. It is you yourself all along, and it is always been you. And the missing piece to your puzzle is in you, and you are the answer. So, my child, know that. Many of us constantly doubt themselves or are not as confident as they would like to be. They were not born not confident. Something happened that made them doubt themselves and lost their self trust. Something happened that made them value outside opinion more than their own. and we walk around doubting ourselves, looking to other for answers, following the answers we get without checking, and in with ourselves first to see if it is in alignment with us. So wonder so many people have so many regrets because if only we just listen to our heart and follow and what we already know deep within. And if this is you, you don't have to walk around shaky or unsure of yourself. Work on your trusting yourself. More work on understanding why you don't trust yourself. And when it started demand to take back power of that part of you that you give away to someone else. Take the regions of how you lead yourself and the life you desire to create. My child, know that staying true to yourself requires reaching a point where you don't mind being misunderstood or even disliked by others. Your truth might upset some people and can lead to rejection or isolation, but that is okay. You are not destined to journey in grace with everyone. And it is also not your job to spend all of your energy attempting to change how other people perceive you. Doing so will derail you from the road planned for you to take to reach your highest self. Maintain your integrity, embrace your initiate wisdom, and be true to who you are and anchor yourself to your authenticity. Get comfortable with people feeling uncomfortable. So, my child, know that everything will work out in mysterious ways. Miracles will happen when you least expect it, and fall in love with every step along the journey. Set your mind's eye on the end result. Do your best every single day to wake up and take steps in the right direction. God's source is calling upon you to release any idea that you should have it all figured out right now. So focus on making the next step in front of you, and the best it can be have patience and faith. So you need to remember loss is an essential part of growth, and when you choose yourself, you are going to lose relationship, both anticipated and unexpected. So you are going to lose people who are uncomfortable with the fact that you have put yourself first, and people who liked you better when you were playing pretend and keeping the peace. So people who would rather believe pretty little lies that make life gentle on them and harder on you. But for every person that you lose and you can gain another. So, and the relationships you gain moving forward will be far more valuable, and these people will accept your truth and they will support your growth. They will encourage you to keep chasing happiness, to keep choosing yourself, and those are the people you really need in your corner. So, my child, know that you are being prepared for a quantum leap. Your life is going to go through a substantial energetic upgrade and cleanse. and everything meant for you, you will manifest with easy, while everything that is not in alignment will require force to keep it in your life. Now is the time to recognize that force negates, and what is meant for you will effortlessly desire to be in your field of energy. So give thanks for the divine support and guidance you receive. And what you believe is what you create, despite what you currently see. Things are working in your favor, and when doubt creeps in, focus on the positive. And when you believe that better is possible, more will manifest. Keep your expectations optimistic. Profess powerful words of prosperity and potential into your life. Trust improvements are constantly flowing to you. Believe you are blessed. So, my child, know that where you are right now is not where you will always be. Our minds want to take a snapshot of any given moment and project that image onto our lives as a whole. So, as a though this is the way it has always been and the way it will always be, and we work against ourselves in this regard because we look to affirm whatever it is we most strongly believe. So, this is why pain and failure can have such an eclipsing effect. We forget all the joy, we forget all the successes. So, we forget all the moments of light between the storms, and when we begin to explore it, we look around and all we see are dead ends. And this is because the doorways are not in the world and they are in our neuro pathways. And what is more important than the precise fact of the moment you come to find yourself in is the way in which you are moving, and it's taking faith in the fact that even the smallest steps in the right direction, turn again and again, will eventually culminate to a result greater than their parts. So, when you consistently focus on creates and anchor beliefs, that anchor beliefs becomes a magnet to which your subconscious mind attempts to reorient and filter all of the information around you to support its pre-existing belief. And this is called confirmation, and while it can work against you and when you want to stand firmly in the sense that you are not enough for your own life, and you can also make it work for you when you choose to find one silver lining of hope and hold yourself there for long enough that your mind begins to seek out ways for that hopefulness to form into some tangible truth. And I promise you, there is so much more to your journey and your story and than where you are right now. So keep planting for the gardens of tomorrow. And because though you might not see what you will reap today, you will come to find that when we invest into our future selves consistently, and life blossoms more fully and beautifully than we could ever truly imagine. So, my child, know that what you resist will always find a way to persist. Let go of how you think your life should be and pay attention to where it is showing you to go. You are destined to be more and have a more. Growth will continually push you toward your fullest potential, so stop playing small. Go big by taking comfort in knowing that the path will be cleared. Trust what is meant for you will get to you. Let go, align, and flow. So, my child, know that. After a point, you get tired of chasing people. You stop wasting your energy on those who are not aware of just how much you love them and who are not willing to commit to your relationship in the beginning. While you did go the extra mile for these people, eventually you notice how futile it is to do as much as you do for someone and who barely acknowledge or returns your feelings. Over time, you learn to safeguard your moments for someone better instead of fighting with the idea of staying with people. And when they make you doubt whether they are worth your love, now you choose to let go. You establish quite honestly that you no longer intend to exhaust yourself over people who act like they are completely okay with losing you. So, my child, know that. Now is the time of being clear on what you truly want and affirming it out into the universe. Believe the contrasting or shadow experiences are fueling your desire and happening your dream big. You are being called towards expansion. Let go of something every day that you feel is no longer helping you grow or evolve. And sometimes we hold on to people, places, or things because we feel guilty for letting go. But that is exactly what will help us take our power back and be free to move forward. So, my child, know that relationships became more intimate and healthy, and when people are not afraid of becoming vulnerable. It's better to let your guard down and express everything instead of bottling it up inside, and even when you feel that it may lead to an argument. When you are transparent in relationships, you are completely open and vulnerable, and that is real intimacy. Things may get bumpy when you talk about the uncomfortable things, but in the long run, it will give stronger foundation to the relationship, and the vulnerable moments will help heal the parts within you and the otherwise would not have been possible. So don't stay bottled up. Choose real intimacy. Don't be afraid to let your guard down. Which is more important to you, how you look or how you feel? And no, I'm not talking about physical looks. I'm referring to that job you are holding on to only because the job title looks cool. And I'm referring to that friend you call a bitch behind her back, but yet you are still hanging out with her. I'm referring to that $1 million house you are striving to buy in the city when you don't even like living in a city. And I'm referring to all the sacrifices you have made for the better good, but somehow there is always more to sacrifice. And what point is enough? At what point do you start prioritizing how you feel over what people think of you? So, my child, know that. I think it makes sense to not have it all figured out, to not know fully what you are doing in your life. And I think it's easy to say we do, but at the end of the day, that is not where you are. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't pressure yourself into a race where you habit to be first or second or third or even at the top 10. You are meant for great things and extraordinary things, but it does not mean that just because you don't have them now, you need to run like hell just so you can have it. And it does not mean you have to force yourself to have it and all figure out now. And it definitely does not mean you should have it all by a certain timeline. So, the point of being on a journey is to hold yourself to your own standard, not the world's, not society, and not even by the same standards your best friends have. So, you always get to decide yes, you, and of course, it has to be you. Because what good is forcing yourself into a road you don't fully understand yet? What good is forcing yourself into a place you need a little more figuring out? So don't listen to all the pressure and noise around you. Do what is best for you, break out of your comfort zone every once in a while and run to whatever, wherever your heart guides you. So, my child, know that. Keep believing in life's possibilities to change and believe in your own self too. Maybe times are still hard for you and don't know how you are going to make it through another year with a broken heart. But maybe you are going through things you never thought you would have to. But even in the difficult, there is opportunity for you to restart trust that one day things will change and what you so much today will also be your source of strength. My child, know that. You are releasing self sabotaging behaviors and translating that energy into more productive means, giving yourself permission to enjoy the things you love, creating new opportunities, and finding the fulfillment in each moment. Honoring your self expression and discovering new ways to show it, finally approving of yourself and finding you have everything you need in the midst of exploring everything you want. So, my child, know that. Even when it feels like life is a tangled, chaotic mess, it is all going to work out beautiful soon. And lost ends will be tired, struck stagnant energy will unreveal into a beautiful symphony, and the tears you shed will give you light to new love and light in your life. And you will end up exactly where you need to be and as exactly who you are meant to be, doing what you are supposed to do. And everything is aligning in your favor. And trust the process, trust the journey, trust the timing, and you are deserving of the light that you earn for. Hold on, beautiful soul, the darkness is only temporary, and all is the conspiring in your favor. And those little procrastinations that you keep giving into are slowly chipping away at your peace and your purpose, and they are distracting you from your best life. So, procrastination only ever feeds you fears and your frustrations. So, don't allow yourself to be talked into procrastination, and it's never worth it. So, refuse to give into that voice within you that say put it off until tomorrow again. And every time that you procrastinate, you're adding momentum to everything that stands between you and your blessings. By procrastinating, you are continuing to resist who you are and what you desire at the deepest level. So, know why we don't all get along. Because if we did, you would not need God. And if people always agree, never a different opinion, you would be happy, go lucky, and no conflict. No relationship issues constantly validated. But God did not make it that easy. He wants you to love yourself. So be okay when others are upset. Turn to God for affirmations. Be okay disagreeing. Knowing God is in charge, rely on Him for peace, not or all getting along. Remember who you are loved by, and let everything else go. My child, know that at this moment in your life, many of you have awoken to the realization that you create your own desired future, and you know that you are not a puppet tied to the strings of the illusion of fate. Embrace the awareness that everything happening in your life is in exact accordance to the nature and in which it was produced. And know that you are not a victim of predetermined course of events of future outcomes, and you are the sole creator of your own destiny. It is up to you to grasp the regions of the ever flowing intelligent consciousness, reading in your soul, and implement new thoughts and ideas in your mind. Reclaim the true essence of your eternal nature and live the life of your dreams. So keep in mind you are consciously creating your life according to each thought and action, and that is sparkled from the present moment. Pay close attention to the thoughts being play out in your mind. At this time, each one is a key to bring into existence the circumstances of your future. And learn how to master your mind with positive affirmation and intuitive wisdom in order to dream and create the desired path of your future. So, release the bonds that keep you emotionally enslaved to your conditions by fully accepting each and every happening in your present life. Understand that everything happening in your perceived reality is beneficial to your spiritual growth. Learn to love life, love yourself, and live a virtuous existence. So be alive and awake in the realization of your divinity and continues to shine your goodness into the world. So, my child, know that everything passes and it may seem glitches, but it passes. One day you may wake up in anguish, feeling afraid of something and wanting to cry for a reason that you yourself cannot explain but pass. You know it passes. There are colorful days where the heart is good to warm the heart, and there are grays and cold days when you need to heat the kettle to warm up and protect yourself from the cold. And there are days when you wake up while making plans, waiting for news to warm your heart. But there are days when the day does not wake up while something or someone is missing. I wish you learn to love your own company on sad days so you learn not be afraid of the storms that surround you. And where I live, they say that where the wind blows, there is a gale. And many times the wind storm can be inside you, and many times it can appear as a trigger. Be it on expert from a song, an expert from a book, or even a news on TV. So don't be afraid of your storms, and if you need help, don't be shy. And despite learning a lot from loneliness, no one lives alone. Silence bursts the chest, and crises come. Some come in the form of irritability, and others as inspiration, and others as crying. In fact, as a person who loves you, I don't like to see you cry. Nobody here like it, right? But it's okay to feel anxieties. Anxiety for a new recording, for a new trip, and even for a new person not necessarily loving you. Know that friend you have not seen for years. Things of everyday life. Take your son on happy days and build your summer full of warmth and affection, and on sad days. Grab your kettle, make some tea, and breathe it all in. Trust in yourself and especially trust that you are never alone. There are thousands of people here who are with you on days of anxiety. And if you need to disappear, don't be afraid of judgment. Be first with yourself than with whoever. So, my child, know that. There are some people in your life that you can't help but love so fiercely, no matter what, and sometimes these people don't love you the same or at all, and that is okay. Not everyone you love will love you in return, and while that might make you want to shrink, so please do not let it harden you too. And the love you give to them and will continues to give to others is the most beautiful thing about you. People like you who live hard and good, so don't come easy in this life. And it takes a lot for some people to do what you do so easily and with so much courage and conviction. And if you happen to love someone who could not match your capacity to love, remind yourself that is okay. and you have left them with a light, and that is so bright and rare. You left them with the memories of a courageous soul and the kind that comes few and far between, and whether or not they knows it and will admit it, you were a great person to them. So they were lucky to have know you and to be loved by you. Now you are able to walk away and meet someone who can and will love you in the same way and in the way you deserve to be loved. So please do not hold yourself back, still clinging on to a person not meant for you. Remind yourself of the power you hold and wait for a love that is right and good. So, my child, know that you are see you have been created with free will, and if you choose to buy into negative beliefs, if you choose to buy into the idea that you can only do just so much and it is beyond your capability to do more, and the universe supports you exactly that far and no further, and because the universe never gives you more than you say and you are ready to handle. So how many of you truly believe you are ready to handle absolute infinite ending ecstasy? A great many of you, because of your training, fear ecstasy quite a bit, or you at least contain belief system and that are self-regulating, and in the sense that are when you finally do create something that seems to be going the right way, and you say, "Well, this is jolly. How long can this last?" So, guilt is what will always perpetuate limitations, always perpetuate separation. It keeps you from recognizing your own self empowerment and your own connection to the infinite creation, and therefore the belief in your lack of self Discernibility allows you to be able to create a scenario in which you actually keep at bay all of the things in life that are yours by birthright, such as happiness, ecstasy, and creativity. So, guilt is the bitter pill that was injected into your society by your society to keep you in the status quo of lack of self. Because when you truly believe you are not connected to all that is or God, the infinite creation, when you truly believe you must control by force in order to get anything at all in life, when do you further the connection of limitation, further the continuation of guilt? And this scenario has become the very ethnic of your society, and when you do not believe you are connected, you thus do not believe you can create things you desire in your lives with great easy and effortless, but things became worthless to you if you don't create suffering to order to get them. No pain, no gain, as you say. And when you are told a story in your world, and that story contains men and conflict, struggle, and strife, you say, "Oh, my very realistic story." When you are told a story, whether it's say, and they lived happily ever after. So, my child, know that. When you remember to eat on time every day, you remember the days you spent at home with your mother, cooking your favorite food, knowing exactly when you get time to And when you hold hands with a friend while crossing the road, you remember the grip of your father's hand, quiet but firm. And when you take a sip of your evening coffee, you remember making it for your sibling after beating it for 10 long minutes. And when you pick up a sweater in winters, you feel the warmth of your grandmother knitting one in a color that reminds you of Christmas. We may not get a chance to build every second of our life with every person we love, but somehow, with every passing day, we feel our lives being built around their affection. Maybe that is what trust form of love is all about, in being felt when it can't be seen. So, my child, know that. As someone who spent her entire life trying to please others, I'm not telling you to stop straight away. But what I am saying in this, learn to accept how destructive it is to seek validation from others. And it becomes so toxic to a point where you need to be complimented or appreciated or told I value in order for your existence to make a sense. And I have done this my entire life, where I have looked to people around me to tell me that I'm doing well, to affirm my dreams and goals, to confirm that I have come a long way for me to believe it too. So, and this led to me to losing so many people as I grow up because I decided to stop seeking that external validation because suddenly our relationship did not make sense. My no longer needing them for affirmation mean they had to reassess their role in my life to someone who was equal to me, and they could not accept that. People whom you look at the constant validation start to believe that they are better than you and that you need them, that if they were not around you would not be able to function normally. And when you take that power away from them, neither of your role makes sense anymore. So before it's too late and you lose some of the most important relationship of your life, slowly start to validate yourself and create a new role for others, and one that makes you worth without their affirmation into consideration, and that maintain attitude that gets you there, so that you think from your wish fulfill instead of thinking about your wish, and is added by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled frequently. And it is the frequency, not the length of time, that makes it natural, that to which you constantly return constitutes your trust self. Frequent occupancy of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of. So, my child, know that. You see this because true and lasting love is here for you. If your question was about a specific person, then this card serves as validation of this relationship divine nature. This individual has genuine love for you, and you both can overcome the issue that arise. This is especially the case if you can express your feelings through attributes such as kindness, compassion, and courtesy towards each other. For instance, having honest conversation would be an expansion of your true love, even if it involves discussing uncomfortable topics. You are currently seeking a relationship, and this message offers you assurance that true love is on its way. And keep the faith that a wonderful relationship is destined to come to you. You don't compromise with an unsuitable partner, and it is essential that you treat yourself well by taking excellent care of yourself. So, for the foundation of a true love relationship is two people who cherish who they are. My child, know that. On Holy Saturday, Jesus is dead, his body is in the tomb, plain cold, lifeless, and the Messiah did not deliver Israel. He did not finish his job of setting the common people free from oppressive Roman of legalistic Judaism. Nothing makes sense. There will be no more of Jesus' witty stories, teachable moments with his disciples, playing with children, standing up against oppressors to protect the poor and powerless, or amazing miracles. So the Messiah is gone, hope is gone. Sometimes we all feel that our hope have been dashed. In fact, things were so bad that on Holy Saturday, Jesus was in hell. But that is actually good news because Jesus is the righteous one and Satan could not hold him or anyone who puts their confidence in him. Now he holds the key of death and hell with the precious blood of Christ. The Lamb of God, God paid the ransom to deliver us from sin, death, and hell, and we may fear dying, even going to hell. But Jesus Christ has empathy us, and we are not alone in that, because the Lord went into that dark void ahead of us. His external life shines for you even in that. He comes riding on the clouds to embrace you and escorts you into heaven. Sin, death, and hell could not hold the righteous Christ, and so they cannot hold us who put our trust in the mercy of God. Through him, Jesus Christ promised for us in that anyone who keeps my word will never see death. And in other words, as a disciple of Jesus, when you die, physically you would not experience death. You would not even know that you died until later. Because we know Easter resurrection is coming on Holy Saturday, we can wait in the dark with hope. And the book of Judges take places after the death of Joshua. During this time, the Israelites continually sin and turn to false gods. God used judges to rescue them. The tribes of Israelis fought for different territories, but soon they abandoned the Lord and did evil in his sight. They worshipped false gods. So God rescued them with the judge. But when the judge died, they turned back to their evil ways. And the Israelis did evil and served another nation for 8 years. And they cried out for help, and God used the judge Othniel to save them. But the Israelis again did evil in the Lord's sight and served another nation for 18 years. But again Israel cried out for help, and the Lord used the judge Ehud to save them. But again the Israelis did evil in the Lord's sight and were ruthlessly oppressed for 20 years. But God used Deborah, the judge, to save them for Sisera, and the Israelis went into a rhythm. They would sin, they were oppressed, they would cry out for help, they would live in peace. Over and over again, the Israeli went through this cycle of sin. We fall short, but God keeps saving us. He loves us. We've all sinned. We've all fall up short, and we need God. We need Jesus to save us. Heavenly Father, I'm so sorry, very thankful to you for all the progress I have already seen in my life. But today I am turning my eyes to the future because I know you have so much for me to do and so much in store for me. I don't want to miss anything you have designed for me, so I'm choosing to turn my attention to the vision you have set before me and to run my race with all my might. Help me remove anything that would hinder my race so I can press forward towards the prize of my high calling of God of my life. I know when I follow your calling, I will be victorious. In Jesus' almighty name, I pray. Amen. Dear God, know that I no longer talk myself out of my intuition. I no longer value outside opinion more than I value my own. I no longer look to others for answer that I already hold within, and I no longer follow external guidance without first checking in the present. I lead myself astray many times when I did trust myself enough to fall what I already know deep within. My lack of self trust that had me to walking around doubting myself. I was not grounded in who I am. Had how things change because it now if my heart says, and I'm learning to have more faith in my inner guidance system. I'm beginning to rely more on my intuition. I'm releasing past hurts that may cloud my clarity. I am retraining my brain to sustain a joyous lifestyle, and I'm forming new habits that are helping me focus on my happiness. I'm trusting more in my choices. So, my child, know that number 16 by 4 by 7. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will shew who are this, and who is holy, and who will continue cause him to come never under him, even him whom to heart chosen will the Moses to became near unto them, and this to take your censers Korah and all this company, and put fire there, and but and increase in them before the Lord tomorrow, and it shall be that the man whom the Lord both choose, he shall be holy. Take too much upon you, sons of Levis and Plasma. I have preached righteousness in the right congregation. I have not refrained my lips. O Lord, do knowest I have not hid the consciousness sweetened within my heart. So I have declared my faithfulness and the salvation, and I have not concealed the loving kindness and the truth from the great congregation. Type yes if you have faith and trust in God, and if you want your all wishes comes true, type Amen.